Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Ant-Man, Giant Man, whatever man you want to call it, box set. So in this set we get the 12-inch Giant Man, which is in the red and black, which will match the newer 6-inch Marvel Legends figure that came out in the Ant-Man wave. We get the 6-inch Giant Man figure, which will match the old Marvel Universe version of this guy that was in the blue and yellow. Same body mold other than the head. Then we also get the 3 3/4 inch or 4-inch, whatever you want to call it, Hank Pym Ant-Man inside his lab coat with an alternate head with the helmet on there. And then we also get this guy, which I'm not sure what it is exactly. And then we go even smaller and get the tiny Ant-Man figure. So we get technically 5 figures, 3 actual figures and 2 tiny ones. Let's go through height measurements first. The Giant Man stands almost exactly 11 3/4 inches tall. The smaller Giant Man stands, as you might guess, about 6 1/4 inches tall. The Marvel Universe scale one stands about 4 1/4 inches tall, so that's kind of... Maybe all the Marvel Universe figures are bigger. I don't collect Universe figures at all. I thought they were 3 3/4 inch scale, but that's obviously bigger. And then this guy stands about 1.5 inches, and this guy, super tiny, stands about 3/4 inch. So we're not going to really look at these guys too much, other than for being as tiny as they are, they look pretty darn good. Sculpts are nice. I mean, obviously on this guy there's almost no sculpt work at all, but the paints are good enough. And on this guy we do actually have some sculpt work, and he looks pretty snazzy. And then on this guy, we'll go through a quick rundown on this guy. Paintwork is decent enough. It's a smaller scale, so I'll let it slide a little bit. Articulation wise, we have a ball peg for the head, ball hinge for the shoulder, so full range of motion there. Bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, and a wrist swivel. For the waist, we have a diaphragm joint, which actually has pretty good range of motion. For the hips, by the way, the jacket's kind of thick and firm. I figured it would be softer plastic, but it's not. For the hips, we have basically the same thing as the newer Marvel Legends, with a thigh swivel, double jointed knee, ankle hinge, and ankle rotation. So that's okay. And then we do have, like I said, the interchangeable head, which looks particularly nice. On this guy, it's basically the Bucky cap with a new belt and a new head, which I think the head sculpt looks incredibly cheap. It just looks really, really unfinished and not very good. And then the paint job on this guy is pretty atrocious. For a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, this guy is a piece of crap. And for a standard Marvel Legends figure, this guy is a piece of crap. It's so bad. All of the yellow is painted except for maybe the crotch and the hands and the feet. So, okay, maybe this part too. So I take it back. About half of the yellow is painted, but all of the yellow that is painted is atrociously bad. It's just so muddy, so not yellow. There's blue coming through everywhere. It's fuzzy. It's just really, really bad. It looks like junk. The only good thing to this guy is that he will match the Marvel Universe Giant Man in the Gigantic Battle set, or whatever those were called back then. So not good. Articulation is standard Bucky cap articulation, so I don't need to go through that again. But you can see here the blue paint on the shins doesn't match the blue molded plastic. None of the yellow paint obviously matches the plastic. The quality of the paint job is bad other than matching. It's just so sloppy and so poorly done. It's so not good for Comic-Con at all. Really a shame. They did put some gold though in the belt and on the visor, but even the visor, it needs another coat. It needs to be lined up better. It's just really, really lazy. Not a good figure at all. And we can move on to the Giant Man, which his antennas got warped in shipping to my house, but it's a pretty lousy figure too. I mean, this mold is not new. They used it for the Icon's Cyclops, and they used it for the Marvel Universe Giant Man, both versions of him, and I think that might be it. But either way, it was never a good mold. The proportions are so not right. The sculpt is not good. Now, it's not horrible. It'll do. It's okay. But as you can see, his hips are just as wide as his shoulders pretty much, so that looks really weird. We still have all the seam work from Colossus, or why do I keep thinking Colossus? From Cyclops. It's just really not a good mold. It looks really bad. It's almost the same mold as that horrible Johnny Storm figure, just bigger and with a few extra details. But they left all of the Colossus details in there and then just did paint. The paintwork is okay. It's almost all just black on top of molded red plastic. We have a little bit of silver here. And then we have a pretty poorly sculpted head. It looks really weird to me. The eyes are super wide, and just the shape of the head looks a little bit off to me. And then they did another one of these plugs for connecting the antenna, which it looks pretty odd, having that off-painted red in the middle there. It just looks really bad. So I mean, the only good thing about this guy is he kind of goes with that horribly made 6-inch Giant Man figure. They have the same Marvel Now costume. At least the line works okay, I guess, but it's still a pretty lousy figure. So for Comic-Con exclusives, this is probably the worst one they've ever done, at least that I can remember. It's really poorly done, really lazy, and not well executed in any way. So bad choice in using this mold again, bad choice in making it not well, and just bad choice all around. So if you are really into Ant-Man or Giant Man, I guess I could see why you would want to get this set. But as far as I'm concerned, it is not worth you guys tracking down at all if you are not able to pick it up at Comic-Con. And if you're not a completist like me, you do not want this. It's not a good set at all. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see more figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.